first thing is this. When we have a challenge course element out there, and if we go out there and I say to people, the purpose of this activity is on belay, to climb up, walk all the way across without holding on and touch the far pole. That's the goal. The purpose of this activity, to be successful in this activity, you catch the trapeze ball. To be successful in this activity, you do the trust fall. To be successful in this activity, you and your partner put your hands up and you go all the way across to the far end of the wild woozy, the low V. In those moments when I dictate to you the outcome of an activity that you must do to be successful, I am imposing, or what I call the imposed goal. I am creating an imposed goal. I'm telling you, this is success. I am in this moment I'm an external locus of control. So the first thing that happens on challenge courses, by their very structure, is we create an external locus of control. The very structure becomes an external locus of control. They're going to measure themselves against this physical structure that you built, which is why I think a lot of programs took down the trapeze bars on the leap of faith and put the ball to the rope up. Why? They wanted everybody to be successful, so they changed that external locus of control. They didn't want anybody to fail or to have to struggle or work hard. I'm one of the few people that still puts trapeze bars up. And I could care less if you catch it or not. I don't care. In fact, I don't even care if you climb. I really don't. What do I care about? I care if you learn how to choose what's right for you in the moment, and it could look completely different than what anybody else is doing. The goal is for me to succeed at whose goals? My goals, not the goals set by the structure. 2, when you look at this system, I'm not telling you what you have to do, but when you look at the element, what do you think the participants believe they need to do to be seen as successful by their peers? Do the whole thing. So not only could I dictate externally what you need to do, but just looking at the structure, people take on a belief of what they think they need to do. Wild woozy, low V, Paris Linus cables diverges, Latin. It's kind of funny. Okay, thank you. It's not like my joke this morning. Okay. When you look at the structure, people take on a belief. Have you ever seen two people do the wild woozy? They're going along, and they step down. What do those two people do? What are you seeing them do? It's grass underneath, or it's dirt, or it's bark mulch, or chips underneath. What do you see those first people do when they step down? They look to the beginning, they look to the end, they look at their feet, and what do? They take their heel and they mark a line. Who's seen people mark a line in the ground? Okay. The next group to get on that thing, they're going and going and going and going. They step down. What do? They look for the mark of the people before them. Who's seen that happen? We continually and constantly judge our performance, our behavior, our success based on what everybody else did. As long as I went farther than you did, I'm successful. Until the next person goes farther than I do. So what's happening is this structure of the elements creates what I call an implied goal. It's suggested, the structure. Here I told you, to be successful, you got to do this. Here, just the very activity itself, the structure, the way it's built, suggests that. The trapeze bar suggests that you have to catch it and hold it to be successful. Those people get the biggest acknowledgement, right? Well, what about everybody else who can't catch it? Are they a failure? We got a problem. We have a problem when perceptually we only see the people who catch the bar as the successes. It's why they took them all down. We didn't know how to deal with that sense of failure that someone would feel less, because now we're working on their self-esteem. I want you to feel good, so I'm going to take the trapeze bar down. I don't want anybody leaving feeling my program, feeling bad today, so let me change my program so you don't feel bad. It's not about self-esteem. In the end, what we're looking for is the ultimate success in these programs, the goal that could be the ultimate goal, the transforming moment, the thing that you could leave with that is more powerful than anything else. When you're out in the real world and somebody says, get a gun, go steal that vehicle, throw the people out, and then go sell the vehicle. Wouldn't it be nice in that case to know how to avoid that situation? Out in the real world, what if someone comes up to you, a close friend, and says, drink this, smoke this, inhale this, inject this? So there's some really strong examples. What if out in the real world, someone really close to you who you're creating a romantic or infatuating experience with, and they come up and say, do this with me. And partly you don't want to. But partly sometimes people go along with it. There are great dangers out there that are either imposed by someone external to us or suggested by the situation. You go to a party, you're underage, there's lots of alcohol, there's pot, there's all this other stuff, and you're there, it's right there. And then your friends are doing it, and your friends are saying, come on, man. Or they don't say, come on, but you want to join in, so you go over and do that thing too, that you might not feel is right, or you might be interested in trying it. But there's a bigger game out there around this thing called choice. And the bigger game is for people to be able to come from a place of a strong internal locus of control and to make the choices that they want to make, that they need to make, that are right for them, that are safe for them, that propel them to where they want to be, free from the external negative influence of the people around us. Choice is the key to a successful life. Sometimes choice is the key to staying alive and not making bad decisions. So on a challenge course, we can impose goals on others. The structures of the course are kind of implied, but in the end, what we're looking for is this thing called choice and the internal locus of control. We need to create that in the people. Therefore, any attachment we all have an attachment to the top, the peak, the bar, the zip, the top of the wall, all these things. We're attached to that. We equate accomplishing that thing with somehow this marvelous, marvelous growth. What we don't have as an industry in our calculus around this stuff is the value and the benefit of someone learning in our adventure how to say, no, thank you, not for me. Because there's too much against it. In the average program, the people who say no, thank you, are seen as less than, not as successful than.